I think Mike should be pulling up any second. He did say 5 o'clock. I am iRise. This is Over a Drink, the 5 o'clock drive time podcast. Filling in with me today is, let me turn my phone off.
Yeah, I just did mine.
Nelly. Y'all know her. Nelly Yoga Fitness.
Yoga Soldier. I thought I told you.
Mike is on his way. He's probably like pulling up right now, so he will be joining us shortly.
Big bro.
You know, I'm not even sure if Dame is coming. I didn't talk to him. Let me turn my phone volume off. Yep, he texted. He said 5 p.m. pull up, and it is 5:01. So he's either parking or will be here shortly. But yes, let me squeeze by you. Tell us about what you did this weekend while I. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it from right here. I ain't gotta do all that. Go live
This weekend for Friday, EA had his Suited and Booted showcase, so that was dope at World Cafe Live. That was Friday.
Okay.
And me and my mom were vending our custom bow ties, pocket squares, and lapel pins. So that was a nice opportunity. So that was Friday. And then Saturday, I don't even really want to get into it till Mike get here, but you know what happens Saturday. If you live in Philly and you bleed green, I'm going to just leave it at that.
Listen, I know on Saturday, it was a great day in Philadelphia sports. Every team won, starting with the Flyers, and then the Eagles, and then the Sixers pulled it off. Yeah, that was a little bit nervous at first because they was down
like 20, right?
Down by 21. Yes, I was watching that game like. I was on Facebook like, I just need the Sixers to win so that I wake up and there's no news of any murders tomorrow because the Eagles already.
Crazy, like we really, the city would be on chill because everybody's watching sports. Nobody got shot.
Nobody got shot, you know?
Dang. Come on, Philly, we got to do better.
Oh, wait, this is Over a Drink, so we do need
It is. And we're trying something new today. We just picked it because we like the bottle.
We like the bottle. It is Blanco Tequila Mi Campo. I like this pretty artwork here, so we're going to see what this is.
So we're going to see Mi Campo.
I hear voices.
What it's hitting for. Sounds like the voice of the guy.
The guy.
The guy. It's the voice of the guy. It's the voice of the guy. Hey, big bro.
What's happening, y'all? How y'all doing?
We are doing great.
I love coming in here. This jacket, this is not one of your creations, but it's the joint I seen the other day, I think, or maybe not.
This is one of them.
Joint is nice.
Thank you.
What's up, all right?
Miguel, you made it.
I'm here.
I said that. I was like, he said he's going to be pulling up. He's going to be pulling up.
Right at 5.
Yeah.
Told you.
Trying something new.
Yes, we like the bottle.
Yeah.
You like the bottle? I've had this before. I think I had the Reposado, though.
Oh, yeah. We like the bottle, so I was like, let me just grab that.
Yeah, this one ain't bad.
So, no, we were just talking about the weekend. We were talking about Saturday. You know,
Saturday.
we know,
Saturday.
well,
What happened
I
Saturday?
know it doesn't matter to you, but the Eagles won and they beat.
I know, that's something to celebrate, though.
Yes, oh, yeah. I'm sure you watched the game, but I know you really don't really care about all that sports stuff.
Nah, but what we gonna do? You know, it's the city.
Yeah, I was just like, it's not looking good for these Giants fans.
Nah, it was tough.
looking
It
good
was
for
tough.
everybody.
Early, too. Early. It wasn't good for the Giants.
We disrespected them. That was just
But,
disrespectful.
you know, it's good. I like when, I don't follow sports heavy. I think everybody knows that. But first of all, let me toast with you ladies, man.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to just show up and drink your liquor
Hey.
and say peace and what's up.
You know?
But I like when the city wins, man. The vibe in the city is better. The energy of the people is better. So, like, you know, I support all the Philly teams because I support good energy in the city.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, even if that means they got to beat up on New York Giants, and you know what I mean, I'm living here now, so I got to ride with
You gotta ride with
You know what I'm saying? so that's what's up, man. So yeah, man. So we headed to the division
Division champs.
champs. Gonna play San Francisco.
Yeah, I
Look, I know more than you think I know, right?
I'm surprised. I really wanted to see that Dallas rematch.
Yeah.
But well, one of my homies, shout out to your boy Sheed the barber. He was just like, he ain't scared of neither team. Like he's a diehard Eagles fan. He was like, it don't matter who we playing. No,
that's how y'all be, right? Like y'all be ready for whatever come in the door. That's how y'all be.
Ain't scared of
Man,
nobody.
that's just what are you gonna do? I think that's the vibe of the city, though, right? Like.
Yeah. It's a great energy. Like I tell people, like as a sports fan, ain't nothing like Philly sports fans,
right?
Like, and I've been to a Miami playoff game in Miami, and I'm trying to tell you that ain't nothing like a regular Sixers game.
Wow.
In Philly.
I went a few years ago. I went down to Miami, and they were playing the Eagles, right? And me and my man was like, "Yo, this is early in the season." We was like, "We should get tickets to the game," and then the Eagles was having a shitty season. It was 10 years ago, whatever it was. It was having a shitty season, so we was like, man, we ain't gonna waste our money on them tickets. We'll just go to Miami, have a good time. Obviously, the season turns around. Right. And we get down there, man. I seen more Eagles jerseys and more Eagles energy. We having to stumble into an Irish bar. Bad move. Yeah. Because, it's already green.
It's already green.
Right, it's already green, right?
It happens to be the Irish Eagles bar.
Right, it happens to be the Irish Eagles bar in Miami, right? And it was crazy because you didn't see no Miami Dolphins jerseys. All up and down South
That
Beach.
is crazy.
No, but you would have thought that there was no game going on. You know what I'm saying? With the amount, from the airport, from the time we left Philly, down there, all the way there, the whole time there was nothing but Eagles energy the whole time. It was insane.
And I've been in the airport watching Eagles fans travel like to Dallas for that game. Like I've been in the airport watching Eagles fans travel, watching Phillies fans travel to Clearwater. Right, it gets messy.
Yeah.
Right,
it gets messy. Die for our team.
Look, man, y'all do, man. Y'all call off from work. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all go 100 miles an hour. Like, you ever notice that every time the Eagles lose, there's delays in SEPTA the next day?
Every fucking time.
Every time.
Every time.
There's not enough SEPTA drop.
You know why? Because
trains be delayed.
Because of the random drug test, they don't smoke, so a lot of them drink. So they be drunk. They can't show up to work to drive the next day.
They gotta be sober the next day. They gotta rest up.
Yeah.
Every single time. I'm like, yo, this is insane.
We go hard.
How the city is up with the teams, down with the teams. So when we winning, man, I love it, man. People get along. The energy's better. People, you be walking. Go Birds. You see the game last night? I started watching football because I just got tired of people being like, yo, you see the game last night? You're like, no, I ain't see the game.
Yeah, I was so hyped off the energy of the city that it didn't even dawn on me until this morning when I was listening to This Way in the Morning that I never got to go to the Drake show that was at the Apollo this weekend.
I was going to mention that to you.
Yeah.
So you didn't even realize you missed it
until this morning. Well, actually, I realized Saturday night for the first show when one of my girlfriends sent me the story from Joelle Santana. She was like, "Did you make it to New York?" And I was like, "Bitch, not Dipset." She was like, "I was scared, but I thought you should know, cause if Dane was here, he knows. Like, I love Dipset, and I heard it was a phenomenal show." And then I realized after the fact that I did have somebody that I could have reached out to, Sarah O'Connor, who just got a promotion, and she's like program director or something over at Sirius. I was like, why didn't I reach out to Sarah?
You might have been in.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm a Dipset fan. I like Dipset energy.
Right. That's what I mean.
I like Dipset energy.
Right. I don't like everything, but there's a lot.
I don't like everything they do, but
it was an era for me. Like it was an era. There was that little Dipset era at the time. Like the stuff I was doing, the partying, they ran it.
And if you partied in New York and
just seeing them, I'm sure brought back that energy.
Right.
Like I heard that his show was phenomenal. Like he gave Drake show was like I heard he gave a show beginning to end. Like and he had different set changes. Like one set was like his bedroom at his mother's house in Canada. Another set was like a label exec's office, and then another set was like a corner of like 40th and something. I can't remember what they said, but they said people in the audience, it was in Harlem, kind of recognized the intersection. It was where Big L was from, the bodega, and then through the bodega doors open and out comes Cam, Jewels, Jim Jones. Yeah, so like I didn't get salty, so I heard about that this morning about how big the show was. A fan apparently did fall off the balcony.
I saw that.
Hey man,
I was about to bring that up.
Sometimes the energy is
that would have been too much for me.
It's too much.
How do you
You giving it up.
I mean,
You
a fan
giving it
fell off
up.
the escalator at an Eagles game. Like people be drunk,
my
people be
God.
high.
Yeah.
Energy is what it is, and interesting observation is that when I was listening to Sway in the morning this morning, their producer Torch, he said that people always think, oh, Drake is for the ladies, but like he was like, of course there were a lot of female fans.
Yeah.
But it was a bunch of niggas in there. Like, don't act like y'all ain't
Y'all ain't
here
Drake fans.
to see the sixth guy because y'all did not know he was bringing Dipset. Like,
Right.
y'all didn't know.
Right.
And 21 Savage. And I think maybe I heard Lil Uzi the next day or something. So shout out to
Listen, I would have
the
gone
sixth
to a
guy
Drake
one
show.
of these days. And
I won't pay for a Drake show, but I would go.
Oh,
to a
I've
Drake
gone to
show.
several Drake shows. I
I've
have
been to
not
Drake
paid, but you
That's
know
what I'm
what?
saying. Like,
The next
paid.
time, I think I would have paid to go. I would have paid to go to this one. When I told people that
That's
like
an
my kids
intimate
would not eat
setting.
for a month and I would buy a ticket, I was so
you so serious about that?
my family would make sure my kids was good. I wouldn't have to buy their food like somebody else in my family would. But I was so serious. Like I would pay for a Drake
I
show
dig it,
at this
but I
point.
just-
I
you
have
know-
not so far. I've gone to see him every time he's come. He gives a great show, and I've had
I
great
believe
seats.
that.
But this was at the Apollo. It only
So
seats
intimate.
1,500
I
people.
know.
So
Super
it, there's not a bad seat in the
no,
Apollo.
super intimate.
Oh,
So yeah,
so it
nothing
had to have
like
been
that.
a great
so it
performance.
had
Yeah.
to be. And I
Had to
would
be a
like
great
that.
vibe in there,
there's nothing
But
like
yeah, I
that.
think Cameron and the Dipset, man, they always Cameron don't get enough credit for creating the vibe where you can have one good single and sell a great album.
Right.
Right?
Right.
He made that for like everybody who's getting over with one song and the rest of the album is whack, they all at the camera. As far as I'm concerned.
So you think he puts out whack albums?
I think he puts out whack albums. I think that Purple joint, like, and
Purple Haze,
yeah.
Purple Haze was
I
a
think
solid
early
album.
Cameron, for me, it would just be like one single, and
But
then
I
the rest of
agree.
the album, I'd be like, yo, like, I want to like everything, but that one single be banging, the rest of the album be,
Yeah, I would agree. Outside,
you know.
outside of Purple Haze, I think I would.
But
agree.
he would make a single that have you like, yo, like, I gotta go get the album.
Right.
You get the album. You're like, damn. I wish iTunes was around back then.
I'm gonna say, you know
iTunes was
what?
around
I'm not
back
the,
then.
I heard that single gotta go with the album. I need to hear 3. For like if the album got 10 songs, I need to like 4 for me to buy it.
He
And
was
that's less. That's only 40%.
he was the artist that made me start questioning albums. Like up until then, I'd hear a single, I go buy the album.
Yeah, and I'm also, and this is really bad to say, I'm the music business person that would like go online and like download that joint. Like, I haven't bought music in I don't know how long. Like, I'm glad they may have Spotify and iTunes and all
Right,
that now
right.
because I was a LimeWire.
Oh, I killed them on LimeWire. My whole
Bear,
iPod Classic.
share.
I still rock my iPod Classic. The whole joint is filled with LimeWire.
Yes. Like,
He's like, you ain't getting no viruses on your computer. I had an Apple computer.
me tell you-
Apple computer, like, yo, it don't work. You just throw it in the trash, keep it going.
look, to this day, I will Google such and such zip download before I spend that bread. For certain people.
For certain people,
I
right.
just come
Some
out the
people I
pocket.
buy,
Like
but-
certain people, I just like, and there's like a lot of independent artists like Shay Noir. I just go to her Bandcamp, buy the
Mhm.
album.
The problem is, right, you don't get nothing tangible anymore. That's
Mm.
my problem with buying music right now. And it's not that I don't want to support artists, right? But I'm like, yo, I don't have anything I can hold on to. And it's like it's all contained here. I can't share it with anybody. I can't be like, I can't give it away.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm paying the same money I was paying to get an album or a CD.
Yeah.
And
I'm back into
You know what I'm
vinyl
saying?
now, though.
You know, I was gonna say
I'm back into
I bought
vinyl
SZA's
now.
Control album on vinyl.
a lot of people.
Vinyl?
A lot of people.
I'm looking to buy a new vinyl.
My
'cause
daughter's a huge vinyl fan.
I'm into
my daughter,
it.
she's
And
10.
she's 19 now, but she's been in the vinyl for probably the last 7 years, 8 years.
I think I'm
I
becoming
bought
a
an
record
old ass
holder.
record player, like a 1985 stereo.
Oh,
Yo, that
wow.
shit sound good
I
as
know
shit
it's
though.
good.
That'd be the
Yo,
one.
My
she-
sisters bought me a record player for my birthday, like maybe 5 years ago, and because I have a bunch of vinyl, and I had been buying like new vinyl, and then I had friends that bought me like
Yeah.
one of my girlfriends, Jamie, she bought me Hall and Oates Greatest Hits.
Look
so
at that.
Oh.
I have.
Look at
but-
that.
So now the crazy thing is, I have what she bought me. I have a very old copy from my childhood that I've
Mhm.
always had, and then I've got like the CD.
Yeah.
so
But yeah, I gave her that stereo, right? And she had only listened to music on her iPod,
Right.
or like she had a
She
little.
barely listened to a CD, right?
Right,
She's that
because she was in
generation.
that generation. CDs
Yeah.
came when she was just a baby, And I mean, iPod and iTunes came when she was a baby.
Yeah.
So, and then she had a, when she first, I think we had some old vinyl in the house, and I went and bought like a cheap turntable just so they could see how vinyl worked, right? And then I bought her this stereo from one of my co-workers who refurbishes old stereos. She's like, Dad, I never knew music sounded so good. She played that music on that, played that vinyl on and turned that music up. It was like, oh my God, I never realized this is what music was supposed to sound like.
One of my friends recently,
changed your life, man.
recently said to me, I don't like that sound. I was like, what? I was like, the snaps, the crackles, the purity, like you can actually hear the strings
Not
on
like
strings.
that vinyl.
I don't like that sound.
Don't like that sound.
Speaking of music, Nelly and I were talking about this song when we came up here.
What's that?
So we were in the liquor store, and she was like, that was my song about to come on. Now, shout out to her, because one thing she didn't probably recognize about me, I barely was paying attention, but I heard 2 notes of that song, and I knew what it was.
What song was this?
It was a song called Lizzo.
Lizzo.
It's always a Florida man, by a rapper named Moonwalker. So I was telling her, you were definitely unfamiliar. You were definitely unfamiliar. So I was telling her how, like, the song's been out for over a year.
Yes.
A couple months ago, like, whenever it comes on satellite radio, I would hear a little bit, and I'm like, I heard, like, the first line, I'm like, okay, and I would just turn. Like, I'm looking for something else. I was like, I can't keep falling into this ratchery, the fuckery. Like, I'm 47, let's move on. About a month or so ago, I decided to listen to the song.
They got you. They got you. That's how they do it.
He's like, she got a little bit of weight, but that's okay. She gonna let a real nigga eat her. I was like, wait, what?
Pretty sure that woman with a whole lot of cake.
Baby, that's a whole lot of shake.
If you got it, I know right my face.
See?
I know my own words.
Always they got
you do it.
It's always that one song,
right to the music.
It's that one. You know, and it's funny, right? Because I don't know the song, but it would probably get me just because of the lyrical content.
Yo, and I told her that's what got. She was like, we were talking about the track. Of course, the track gets you.
Oh God!
I told her I heard the track and I already knew it was going to be trouble because it woke in my inner stripper, and that's why I would always turn when it came on. So finally, I take a deep dive into the lyrics.
Yes.
And I was like, this nigga, he's talking about fupa and all that. He's like, it don't matter. You can lift that stomach up.
Oh.
Hey.
So it's interesting. I tie that into you talking about how when you used to hear one single, you would buy an album, and I was like, yeah, see, I would hear that, and I still went around and buy that.
Well, that's different.
I went out by the album, but I damn sure.
But I damn sure know
what?
I'm downloading that so I can put that on my workout routine, my pole routine.
A young Mike would have bought that album just because of the creativity of the lyrics in the song. I mean, let me see what else he got in here. Right? Just because I'm like, maybe he got 2 songs that sound like this. I'd have known going in, though, that the album's going to be whack.
Right.
And been hoping for a surprise.
Yeah.
As opposed to going in hoping for a good album and then finding out that the album is whack.
Yeah, so his name is Moonwalker.
Shout
and
out
the song
to
is
Moonwalker.
Lizzo.
Shout out
when
to
you get a
Moonwalker.
chance,
I'm
listen to
it.
And I told her, like, for me, it was because I like to listen to ad libs. This is how I got in Amigos. The damn ad libs. Like, what are y'all in the back of the store saying? Mama! Let me tell you something. Mama! Like, who the fuck just does that in the middle of a song? That's what got me, honestly.
Ad libs take a song.
This nigga.
Backup singers.
He says at the end of almost every line, he's like, like confirmation. So that's what got me. That's what made me want to listen to the
Don't
song.
think I'm
like,
not playing.
Right, don't think I'm not playing. Like,
I'm here.
She gonna let a real nigga eat her. Like,
You would have grabbed me. You could get me for. I can't mess with y'all. You can get me for at least one song with good ad libs. Good ad libs and backup singers.
Well, backup singers for sure, but like I never
But
realized how important
like
ad libs
they
are.
are so important.
The ad libs tickle me to death.
Like you could almost remove the main lyrics. If you got good ad libs, you could still rock to the song.
Ad libs is what got me on the Future. Ad libs is what got me on the 2121. Like, why the fuck are you saying your name over and over in the back of the song?
Oh God.
He loses me because I need more. Right?
He actually has more, honestly. I've listened to enough of his catalog to say
I can't get through,
he actually has more.
I can't get through more
like
than 2 of his
I've been
songs.
lyrically surprised, and I don't mean like punny, witty. Yeah, I've been surprised.
I like Savage.
I like
A
Savage.
lot of people like him.
I like
It's
him.
just my old ass.
You like him?
He got a
He
song
has
with
a
Nas.
little-
Check it out. You might like that.
And you know, this is how they do. Like somebody like Nas go and vouch for him, and now they try to suck me in. I come in, I'm like, God damn it, Nas, why you do this shit? Rest of the album's just what I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, the rest of the album definitely is what you thought it was gonna be.
Right? Like, why you going friggin' vouch for this shit, man? But what you gonna do? God bless 21 Savage.
Yes.
God bless what's my man's name?
Moonwalker.
Moonwalker, yes.
Yeah, man.
Moonwalker.
Get that paper, sell them records, man. I ain't mad at none of them.
Get paid, young
I ain't mad at none of them.
paid.
What else you got on your list? You got a list?
Well, we were just talking
What
about
else you
like
talking
current
about?
events.
All right, what other
whole
current
lot of
events you
stuff.
got?
When we were in the car, we were
Well,
talking
we had
about
the Drake joint. We talked
yeah, we
about
talked
that.
about that. So that
Talked about Beyonce in Dubai.
No, I didn't. We did
Oh
not talk about Beyonce
yeah,
in Dubai.
seen that.
Beyonce.
Like,
in
I need
Dubai.
to like. I can't wait until my like caliber of my status increases because I don't understand why she didn't invite me this year.
Well, it
I
was
really
a private
thought that.
show. I
But
don't know if
even
she got to
so-
invite anybody.
No, people were there. Like
Who was
Nia
there?
Long and people, like people. So let's
Oh, yeah.
Sounds like her friends, people that she
Right.
can just text like,
People,
"Hey, girl,
people who got her number.
I'm gonna be in Dubai this weekend. I don't know if you're busy.
Right, people who-
Our jet leaves at 3.
Eventually,
It's
it's
on
going
the
to
seat
be
if
on
you
the
like to
list.
hop on. Like, you need a long ain't pay.
We are going to be on that list one. I'm telling you, we're going to be on that list. I'm claiming.
24 mil
Because
they
there's
said
no
she got
reason
for
why we
that show.
shouldn't have been
There's no
invited.
reason why you should.
I would have.
I will say I agree. We will be on that list one day. I will say I'm fortunate to have that sort of. I've had that sort of experience. Those sort of experiences.
You been to Dubai with Beyonce?
No, but I've been. I've been to South Africa. I've been to South Africa with Will Smith, and I met Nelson Mandela.
Oh!
That's
That's
what I'm saying?
better.
Trump's Beyonce.
That's better, yes.
I met Beyonce too. I have a picture of my son standing there looking all goofy. He was like 6 years old when they did Live Aid in Philly,
Mm-hmm.
Live Aid or whatever. I met Beyonce and Jay-Z, and my son took a picture with the both of them.
I met them, like, but on work time. Like
It was always on work time.
Yeah, it was
Neither
like-
one would remember me if I ever ran into him again.
Like, I actually just came across a clip that I have interviewing Jay-Z when they introduced the Made in America tour.
Mm-hmm.
And or the show, the Made in America show. And like my question was, and I didn't ask it, like just me and Jim Frederick was in the car, we was discussing it. And I was like, yo, man, like, why ain't Will Smith doing this? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like, why isn't there a Philly artist bringing this kind of energy to the city?
Yep.
Right? Why does it have to be Jay-Z?
Right.
Not to take anything from Jay-Z and what it did for the city, right?
Right.
Don't you know this broad asked him, right? So he's coming off the stage after doing the press conference, and she was like, "So why is Will Smith not part of this?" Jay was like, "Yo, don't start no trouble."
You're a
troublemaker,
Mike.
Right, Jay.
That sounds like
Jay, it sounds just like Jay too,
Yeah.
right? Like, yo, don't start no
Don't start
trouble,
no
man.
trouble.
But I feel like that's I don't know. It just that's a true statement. Just even still now, like I feel like there's so many celebrities from here that don't really pour back into the community. Like
To
they
this
should.
day, I don't understand why I haven't seen Will Smith perform on the 4th of July on Art Museum steps.
No, he did it the Dell though. Shout out to the Dell.
He did the Dell?
Oh, he did it.
Okay.
Yeah, he did.
I missed that show.
It wasn't a
It was a
Lady
few
B-
years
wasn't
ago. It was a Lady B basement party.
Like he just showed up
Eddie
on
Jeff and
some
Fresh
like
Prince
not
did.
expected. It wasn't advertised.
First of all, he always.
I don't think
kills
he was
it.
advertised.
Right. It wasn't advertised. He just showed up.
I don't
Like
know.
I always
don't
tell
know.
people, I'm not lying when I say Brand New Funk is my most absolutely
Period.
favorite number
Dude,
one hip
it's a
hop
great
song.
song.
Lyrically, like the way you ride the beat, the performance. Like I remember the video,
and
all
he
that.
did it.
Like oh yeah,
Acapulco.
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 He does that often. Acapulco is a
He
matter
did
of fact.
Acapulco. That was amazing. Like just to sit and like lay on every word that he said in that and hear it with nothing behind it. It was like, he still
Dude,
got it.
but to hear
Still
him
got
do
it.
that from the steps or even get jiggy with it, the crowd
Right.
would
Right.
lose their
Right.
minds.
Right.
I don't know.
Out there.
Maybe
He's
people are
living, he's
blocking him
Philly-
from happening.
he's
I don't know.
Philly-
I don't know why it doesn't happen either. I agree with
But
you. I'm sure there's a
but-
whole
He's
bunch of
losing.
reasons
But I
why.
do know that Kevin Hart and Meek Mill recently just donated some money to the Philadelphia Public
Right,
Schools
right.
that I hope that the Philadelphia Public Schools get
Right.
and use
Wow, that's a
properly.
whole-
properly. That's the that's the
Sheesh.
thing.
That's a whole nother. Like I don't
It's a whole-
understand how this school district is constantly short on money.
Always.
Always, every year, $75 million, and it's not like they short like
Especially
a
since
couple
the
dollars.
Pepsi is like
Right.
$7 right now.
Man, you supposed to get money from
all that sugar tax.
They're supposed to get money from the parking authority, from the sugar tax. Like where all this money going that they getting? How they all so upside down?
So
Although,
sad.
well-
I will tell you, when the not the current head of the district, the dude who left, Hike. Was it Hike the last one?
Yes.
I did an interview with him one time, and he was talking about how when he first got here, he was like, listen, man, we got all these assets that we don't use, these empty school buildings and stuff like that. Like, I'm going to sell them off, right? And he was going to sell off the actual headquarters. Mm-hmm. He was like, we got this big old building, but we only use like 30% of it. We don't need this building. We will go into one of these school buildings that we got that we own that's empty,
right,
and we'll sell this property.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't remember what the property was worth at the time, but the district owed something like 4 times the value of the property. He's like, we can't sell it because they refinanced it so many times to pay for other things that we are so upside down in this building.
I remember when they built that and they sold the property that was on the Parkway that's now like luxury apartments or whatever. And I was wondering why they even did
why'd
that.
you move?
I was wondering why they were selling so many schools.
And you spent all this money to build this building when you had a building that you owned already. Just update the building and keep it moving.
Yeah, my little 2 minutes of soapbox is this, and this is what I always say. Gentrification and the goddamn 10-year tax abatement be fucking up our school district. Make these motherfuckers come pay taxes on these fucking $1 million houses that they're buying and put that money into the school district.
100%.
Because what they do is they come and they stay here for less than 10 years, and then they fucking leave, and they get out, and when they do come, they don't raise their children in these neighborhoods, they don't send their children to these schools, and who's suffering? Us.
There it is.
Yep.
There it
But
is.
you know, I say that all the time.
Then you got to what you
And people think I don't know what I be talking about.
I had a conversation with the head of the housing authority today. Just happened walk in the room and he's sitting there, and they got the lottery going in, right? So
that was on our list.
That's on your list.
Good segue.
Well, we're moving to that then.
Boom. They're gonna 10,000. They're gonna add 10,000 names to
Here's
the
my
list.
problem with the whole
Tell me your
situation,
problem, and
right?
I'll tell you my problem.
I'm all good with the idea of adding 10,000 names to the list, right?
Right. Okay.
So I says to him, okay. I said, so but what is the demand? The demand is 60,000.
Did you ask how many are on the list already?
Right? I did not ask. I mean, because I was actually just walked in the room and they was waiting to take him on TV, right? And I just started throwing questions at him. And I said, well, how long is the wait once you're on the list? He said, it'll probably take about 3 years.
He's lying.
He said previously, it was 13 years.
That's the truth, because guess who's on the list? This kid. Guess who got on the list when this kid had 1 kid? Guess how many kids I got now? 3. Age 24, 16.
You might age out of the list.
And I've been on the list since I had 1 child that was like 2 years old.
But there's also, like, what he also shared with me was, he was like, yo, we don't get no money from the city. He said, all their money come from the federal government. Mm-hmm. He said, and then there's regulations within the federal government that says, he's like, so like a independent contractor can build a home. Mm-hmm. He said, it'll cost, he said, for the properties we build, right? He said, an independent contractor build that place for $125,000. Mm-hmm. He said, well, all the regulations that the feds put on us, it costs us $300,000. So now for what they could build 3 properties for, PHS can only build 1, basically, right? Mm-hmm. So now that limits the amount, right? And then I said, well, I was looking at housing for my pops up in New York for some low-income housing, and I know, like, every time a developer builds something, they have to build low-income housing as well. There's a certain percentage. So if you
build, it's a very small percent.
Yeah, but even still, right? If you build an apartment building that has 40 units in it, like something like 10 of those have to be low income or something like that, right?
No, if it's 40 unit, probably only 2.
Whatever it is, whatever it is, right? But you have to, every time you build, you have to build some low-income housing, right? Just because I don't know if you remember a few years ago, like that tallest building in New York, the tallest residence joint.
I do remember
they had that debate because they didn't want the low-income housing people to come through the front door.
But they had to.
Yes, they had the back. They wanted to go through the back door. They called it the poor door.
Is here, bitches.
Right, they called it the poor door. Right, and I'm like, look, if I got my address is Park Avenue, I don't give a damn what door I walk through. Right? If my address is 36 in Park Avenue,
as long as I get in the house.
What door I walk through? That's just me. You would have had no gripe from Mike about going through the poor door. I'm in that door, right? But anyway, I said, why doesn't that happen here in the city? He says it actually does. He said, but contractors can buy their way out of it.
Yep.
He said, so they just pay the fees to not have to build the
Not
low
have to
income
build the
housing.
housing.
I said, well, where does that money go?
Or however they do it, the percentage is small because I know that the new development over by 7th and Fairmount, something like 10% has to be.
Yeah,
And I'm like, if it's 100 units, so 10 units.
that's 10 units. But still, listen, it's, first of all, it's better than nothing, right?
But the entire property was low income, so you just displaced 300 and something households
I don't disagree with
to
you,
put in.
but you know, it's like it's a tough situation, right? Because you want advancement in the city,
You do.
and you want investment in the city,
You do.
right? But then you don't want people to be relocated, and you don't want gentrification, right? So the only way, in my opinion, anyway, is that you avoid it. Is the city has to tax them and build these properties, right? So you got to offset that by increasing the taxes, and this 10-year tax abatement
10-year tax
is
abatement
killing them.
sucks, and not in that pleasurable way that brings orgasms.
Well, it depends on what side you want. If you ain't paying that tax,
You right. So if you ain't gotta pay no tax on your house,
if you ain't paying that tax,
I'm pretty
you
sure
know what I'm
that's
saying? You
pretty
getting it. But that's what it is, and it's just always like, I'm like, damn, man, y'all, it's always something upside down in this city, man. Like, and y'all see it, and nobody's doing anything to fix it. Like,
That's every city.
come on, man.
I'm about to say it just seems so
And
much.
it is every city,
worse
but it
with
seems
ours.
worse here,
It's
right?
historical with us. Like our city coffers be empty, and we be like, "Where's the money?" And don't nobody know.
Don't nobody have
Like,
an answer.
the controller don't
Right.
know. The
Right, and it's
treasurer
like-
don't know.
When we are the 4th largest market in the country, but we have the poorest, highest incident of undernourished, and that corridor from Chester up to like Kensington.
Right.
It's like the poorest corridor, food insufficient corridor in the country.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell is that
In the urban
possible?
environment, right?
Yeah.
How is
Well,
that possible?
Our new mayor hopefully is going to fix it. That's something else we talked about. We were talking about.
Who's the new mayor?
We think we leaning towards Jeff Brown.
Yeah.
I think Jeff Brown.
Mr.
is that dude.
Shoprite.
I agree.
Jeff Brown is the man. He
He
brought
ran the
jobs
city.
and
I agree.
opportunity to the city.
I agree.
He's like
Until Jeff
He-
got in, I thought Don might be the dude.
boots on the ground.
But-
like,
Say no to Alan Brown. You hear me complaining about tax abatement?
I know.
Fuck
Alan
him.
Don made a lot
I
of
don't even
money.
know him
Alan
personally.
Don
Fuck
would be
him.
like, he might be like
No,
Donald Trump,
no,
joint, right? He like,
no,
listen,
no.
I can tell you, I know how to beat the system because I've been beating the system.
Right.
So I know all the problems. I know where all the loopholes are.
No.
They do.
Before I get Kanye, just know. That's what I'm saying.
But nah, he's gonna have a tough run against Jeff Brown.
Everybody.
Jeff Brown got the
Everybody's
and
gonna
all
have a
of them,
tough run.
right? Because he doesn't have all the baggage that comes along with it either. Like, everybody recognizes what he's done.
And apparently he's leading right now in
Of
like
course.
Donations and
Of course.
and
Because you
fundraising.
look at
He's in the
everybody in city
forefront.
council who quit their job and decide they're gonna run for mayor, right? My first question is, it's like, yo, B, you ain't clean up your own neighborhood.
I'm about to say, you
How the hell
don't
you
do
gonna
shit
clean
when
up
you
your
don't
own
bring
city?
council.
And
Right.
Jeff Brown is doing it. Where does he live? Where does Jeff Brown live?
I don't know.
I bet you he probably lives not far from somewhere where he has a supermarket in the city. I think that he probably lives somewhere.
I don't know, but
I
it
hope
don't
that
even
you
matter. He might live in Center City, but what does it matter if he's
I just
creating
hope-
jobs and creating
But he
opportunity?
is amazing.
Right. You know what I'm saying? For what he's doing.
The way he hired that
What he
old
has
lady,
done.
Big Mama, to cook them sweet potato pies in them kitchens.
Let me tell you something. And that fried chicken that they got up there. I'm like, hold on a second. Jeff.
Yes.
Oh,
ShopRite.
like, yeah.
Brown's Family ShopRite.
When I
Yeah.
His name is Jeff Brown.
that chicken in the
Sweet
sweet
potato
potato
pies
pies.
and the fried chicken be so damn
So,
good.
and look, he gets authentic people to cook.
Yeah.
Because the one on Shelton Ave with the sushi
Yeah.
is banging.
Dude,
Not a sushi
when I
person.
when
Maybe
I
need to
seen him
expand my horizon.
and realized he was white, I was like, that's Jeff Brown? Who knew?
Who knew? Killing his jobs, opening up supermarkets and food deserts,
Right.
letting all the black
Like,
folks
Bro,
come
when
work.
they during
Giving people jobs.
2020 when they ran through his spot up there off of Fox Street,
Uh-huh.
and 3 days later he was right back open.
Right back.
Right back open.
52nd Street.
And not only was he right back open, like the employees respect him enough that they came to help clean up.
Right.
Employees and
Right,
Yeah.
and people in the community.
right.
They lent their time and
You know what I'm saying? Because that was when that went down. My biggest fear was like, yo, man, these stores are not gonna open back up.
Right.
Like all these neighborhoods, Southwest, every
And it
place
always
that
be our
got tore.
supermarkets.
Right.
And he
I was like,
pharmacies.
oh
He
man,
gives
this
entrepreneurs
is a mess.
opportunities too, because he got Saw It has her food in the store.
Yeah, he
One
gets
of my friends,
opportunity.
her son has a lemonade, Micah's Mix. He was 10 years old, created his own lemonade. He was selling his in ShopRite, so he gives the community opportunities. So I think he's gonna
Yeah, I
be.
think he's that
cups are
dude.
empty.
Yeah.
Like I think he might. I think everybody else might as well just go ahead and drop out the race. Like let's
Yeah,
just
you're
not
not
even.
gonna win against
Let's
Jeff
not just
Brown.
play this game.
If they
Right.
if anybody wins against against
You sure you want to pour some more? in
Right,
that
I'm
cup?
thinking the same thing. And she was pouring heavy too. Like you already stumbling.
She's like,
my God, but you're not gonna. If it would just be a conspiracy, period.
it would be a conspiracy.
Like how? How did you win? There's no way.
So we got what else we got? So Jeff Brown
What's
gonna
on
be the
your
next
list?
mayor. I got Drake. Oh, Coca-Cola getting sued over the orange juice having cancer causing Simply Orange. Y'all drink that one? Simply Orange.
I do. I didn't even
The
hear
plastic
about
bottle
I'm like, I
joint.
didn't even hear about that.
Yeah, man. There's some
I
kind of
drink whatever be on sale. Simply Orange be 2
That
for $5 a
part.
lot.
yeah.
so-
That's why, because they trying to kill y'all. They trying to kill y'all with that Simply Orange. There's some kind of toxin in there that's causing cancer.
What?
And it's like they said, whatever it is, it's like the limits is like way up.
Oh, let me go collect the
So,
check.
yeah, man. So
I've
they
been
get
told
sued over
several
that.
times I ain't little right in the hands because
My
it's Simply
It
Orange.
might be because of the Simply Orange. Well, your first
Now,
problem,
orange
right?
juice is not good for us. This is crazy. You
No,
gotta
just
start
the
dr-
Simply Orange.
Just the brand.
Just
Simply.
It's
the
just that
Simply.
Coca.
Simply
Yeah, that's
Orange.
Simply.
And it's like I don't
Orange.
want to drink simply anything now.
That's what somebody else said. I think Alex said that on the show this morning. She was like, they got the lemonade joint. They got
Yes.
the pink lemonade
Yeah,
joint.
like, no, I
They
don't
got
want
all
simply
those
anything.
different brands.
So what's it? What is if they're all in the same bottle? So what
I
is
forget
it
what
with the orange
what,
juice
what
and
it
the
is
bottle?
that's in it. Some kind of toxin that's in it, and the levels of it is like way above what's supposed to be acceptable.
They
Come
poisoning
on,
my orange
FDA.
juice.
How
You
did you let this get past you? Like, come on.
Listen, Coca-Cola got a lot of money.
Coca-Cola does
A lot
have
of
a
money.
lot of money.
You
Come
know what I'm
They
saying?
don't
on.
enough to be poisoning my black ass.
Well, that's why they put the brakes on it now. Brakes on it, like, look,
Shit,
good
I already
enough.
said I'm about to
You
try to move to
poisoning my
California.
people.
I'm about to move to one of them states where they looking into reparations and trying to give.
I know, what, 5 mil?
That was
Ahead.
Oakland. That was
That was
Oakland.
Oakland.
Oakland was like, we're
Don't
trying to
you
get
Oakland.
black
not
people.
tell me.
Black
I'm
people,
going.
$5 million. I was like,
million.
what?
You
Pop.
cannot tell
I
me.
said, how
I'm
much
on
money
my
costs to
way.
live in Oakland?
I'm on my
$5 million
way.
a pop.
I'm on my way.
Do
Don't
you have,
even
what else we
have to-
have?
Oh, I have the Monterey Park mass shooting.
Oh, that's the my
So
man.
when I first heard about
That
it,
was the party, right?
My man.
yeah, because when I first heard about it, it was like a mass shooting at a Lunar New Year celebration. And I'm like, all right, it's Chinese New Year. Is it a hate crime? But 72-year-old Hu Kan Tran went into
was the name
a
for
dance
him.
hall and
Right.
shot up
Who control?
a bunch of people. 11 of the 11th person died today. At least 10 were injured. And yeah, it was a
And
dance,
killed himself.
a dance hall that he frequented.
Yeah, they said that, I heard earlier, now, you know, I don't know, I be in and out, right?
He's 72. Like,
But they said his
what's
wife
wrong
got
with him?
invited to the party and he didn't. And then they said he pulled up and see them dancing and blacked out.
Are you serious?
I heard
no,
that at
because
5 o'clock this morning.
you don't travel with that kind of gun.
No, but I mean, he probably
that.
went there with the intent, but he probably looked at the door.
That's
Like,
some
he
good-
might have been like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. If she just in there chilling, I'm
That's
gonna
some
grab her,
good
we just gonna
coochie.
roll
Shout
out.
out to the
People
wife.
in there. Like I was
Right.
looking at the victims, they were like 62-year-old Lin Manya and 70-year-old. I was like,
So he might have looked in the door and he was like, yo, no,
That's
she
so-
ain't.
like
that's
how you live your whole life and
I
you
don't even-
escape like whatever physical ailments you have to be killed by
By a
a jealous
70-something-year-old.
husband.
Jealous husband.
In a mass
jealous
shooting.
husband.
Jealous husband.
So
And
I
then
guess-
she just gonna keep
He's
walking around
72.
here with
First
So I
of
guess
all-
that shit don't ever end. I saw a meme and
Nah.
it said,
homicidal.
never
I saw a meme and it said my 60-year-old mother was introduced to a 67-year-old man not looking for anything serious if you think that ever ends. And I was like, wow. So
Right.
that don't end like
Because my pop's still out there dating. He 85. He's still out. He's still
love
going
that.
out.
He's still
going
I
out.
love that, but is he
I
out there
love it
saying
too.
I'm not looking for nothing serious at 85?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Like I don't. Yeah.
He's like, I don't want no wife.
Do you
Said I've been
understand
down
the
that
freedom
road.
in that though? Because I
Right.
asked my 81-year-old, I said, Auntie, would you still have sexual? She said, yeah, yeah. I said, oh.
He said, I ain't
So
looking.
you still want to do the deal?
He said,
I hope that I am, and I hope that I don't have to be out here dating, trying to like. I hope that I'm with somebody. By
I don't think he's really dating. But like his wife passed away a few years ago.
He was married. See, he was married.
Yeah, he was married, but he like, you know, he got an 80-something-year-old girlfriend, but she don't go out. So he go out with some 60-year-olds. He be outside. Pop ain't playing. Pop. He showed me a picture the other day. It's like one young lady over here, another young lady over here, and then another one bent down and
Damn
like,
right, yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
He living. He said, shit.
Your pop look like you. You want me to be your stepmom? I don't know if I can do that.
I'm like, look, man, I'm 85. He said I'm 85 in years, Mike, but I'm not 85. Like, I don't know why they keep trying to tell me.
And he's like a young spry 85.
Yes, he's like, I want to be outside. I told him, even early COVID, right? I was like, Pop,
We
listen,
gotta
you
invite
too
Pop to
old.
some parties.
You can't be outside. This COVID is killing people. You in the demographic.
He got his
He
shots.
said-
He boosted up.
This is even before that. He said, Michael, if you think I'm sitting on this couch and waiting for death to come get me, you crazy.
Shit.
I'm going outside.
He said I didn't survive this long.
Right. He said, I said, girl, live your life, man.
85.
85, you
shit.
can't tell
I'm
him
out here.
nothing. Can't tell him nothing.
We had a holiday last week.
Oh, yeah.
Did you do it? Did you rest or did you do service?
Nah,
I think
I
white
worked,
folk. I
man.
think white folk need to do service on King Day anyway. Like,
Yeah,
That's what
I think black folk need to
Well,
rest.
We gotta work harder. on
But
that
what?
shit.
How do you feel about the statue in Boston?
I'm not as caught up in it as everybody else is.
What
I'm like,
is it,
look, it's a
though?
new statue. It's a new statue. Right?
I'm just one of those people that had to be told it was an embrace because I looked
Right.
at that.
I
and was
looked
like,
at it, I
what
didn't
the
see
fuck
what it
is
was.
that?
I'm like, what is it?
Right.
What is that?
You know, I looked at it, I was like, oh, okay. Then I think I seen something that said, oh, it's an embrace. And I was
then
like, okay.
I watched the Daily Show and it was hosted by Leslie Jones that week, and she was like, "It's Dr. King going down on his wife."
Wow. Wow.
With the arms, and so
Bombs.
outside of that,
drop.
it looked like somebody was holding a giant dick. So I
Like,
I didn't know what it was.
I didn't know
Like,
what it was. That's why I'm like.
I was
what
like, when
is
it was
this?
like the new statue, I was like, what is it?
yes, I had to be told it was the embrace, and then they showed the black and white picture where they're hugging, and I'm like, oh, I see it now.
Some things is just too abstract.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say.
Because
I don't think it should
10
have to be
years from
explained.
now, right? Who's gonna know, right?
I feel
Like,
like it should-
so these young kids, so somebody's gonna come through and be like, "Yo, what is it?
Like, what
does this
happened to
mean?"
just a bust of his head? Like,
Right.
And then the other comedian on the Daily Show, she was like, they keep doing Dr. King and his statues a disservice because the one in D.C., she was like, this man done marched and he don't
And
got,
they got no
legs. I was like, right.
Look like they got tired. Like I ain't carving no more into this stone. You getting from your head to your waist, and I'm going home. Like I'll be here forever trying to carve this man out of this big ass
how are
rock.
we doing that to our
I
civil rights
cannot,
icon, Joe?
yeah.
Like, how?
I don't
Wow.
know. Y'all ain't no damn good.
I think is
Y'all
it?
ain't no
Do we
good.
even have any say in these statues, in these monuments? Like who's on the board?
Well, I mean,
Of
they
these things.
commission an artist,
Right.
and the artist
An
comes
artist
up with the
submit.
idea and submits, and they say, okay,
and
great,
they say,
we're
okay,
going
this
with
is
that.
a go, or this isn't
And
a go.
who is the people? Like who? Yeah, who's the powers that be that said yes, do this?
And,
Is it
and I don't
enough
want to
of
shit on the
us?
artist because, like, I'm
Nah,
sure
'cause, I mean, the artist-
it's art, so you know, art is subjective.
Right.
It is.
But you
But-
from every
but
angle,
black
it's a
isn't.
different. You get a different
Right.
opinion.
But if you gotta explain everything to everybody,
then it might not have been.
somebody should be like, hold up, maybe
That's
we
what
should
I'm
make an
saying.
adjustment here.
Yes.
Because I feel like
That's
had
all
it been
I'm
enough
saying.
black people on that panel to say, well, if all of our reaction was that, I'm pretty sure if we were on the panel,
Right.
all of our reaction would have been that from the gate, and it would have been like, well, let's.
Everybody on the panel like, oh, I get it.
If I was on the panel, I would have said, been the elephant in the room.
Right, like,
Is he
nah, I
holding-
don't like that one.
Exactly.
Is he
Like, what?
holding a dick?
Right, right.
What
I don't
is
know if I
that?
went that far with it, but I
Well,
get where you're
that's
going.
the
I get where you're going.
So that they know, like,
I'd have been
that's
like,
the
nah, but I
problem.
definitely
somebody
been like,
somewhere is going to see that. If I saw
Right.
that, somebody somewhere is going to
yeah,
see
I
that.
definitely would be like, nah, I don't like that one.
We
What
need
else
to
you
have
got?
more of a say.
Oh,
So what we got?
it's
No, I
tax-
mean,
it's
as far
tax-
as the statue goes.
as far as
like, what else you
statues, No, nothing else on the statue.
We got Jerry Blavat's died.
I know, and I just saw, like, literally physically saw him November at
Look at
Live
that.
Casino. He was doing weekly
Yeah,
events
he's
at
doing his
Live.
thing.
My mom took a picture with him.
He got sick and he went in the house. and just
Wow.
never came back. I think he ain't want nobody to see him sick.
Oh,
Yes, and I respect that.
And I get it because he looked very healthy. And
Right.
Very,
Yeah.
Right.
So when you get sick and start deteriorating,
And
I
some,
used to
and
see
some stuff
he-
will go and eat
Yeah,
quick.
because he would ride past the station on that bike every morning. You know what I mean? You see, hey, what up, my brother from another mother? Like, dude,
Yeah, 'cause
you
he
know
right
me
there
and
in
you
Old
ain't got
City.
the same father. Ain't no way in hell me and you got the same father.
That's a-
But he was a cool ass dude, man. Like Jerry, man, was a good dude, man. But you know, what are you gonna do?
yes, my
Yeah.
about
Philadelphia
about
legend.
the statue. My cousin said they should stop. They should make it where citizens are allowed to vote on what the
There you go.
representation is.
That's what I'm saying.
Facts. Facts. I agree with that.
Because they the people that got to look at it. It's
Shout out
us.
to my cousin Sherelle tuned in.
Shout out, cousin.
Yeah, Jerry told me a story years ago. I did an interview. I forget who had died, and we went and talked to him about some musician that had died. And he told me that he was at the house when Sammy Davis Jr. died,
Whoa.
right? And he was like, "Yo, you know why there's no photos of Sammy Davis Jr.'s casket coming out the house or a hearse or anything like that?" I was like, "Nah, but you're right. Like there was all kinds of TV crews outside, but there's no pictures of
Right.
you know the body leaving the house." He says so many people were sending flowers. There was just so many flowers that came to the crib. He said when he died, we called the flower company, said send over an empty van. He said so the news crews were so used to seeing the vans going in and
That
out of
they
the
put
yard.
The body in the flower
They put the
van.
friggin' body in the back of the flower van instead of
A hearse.
coroner's van or a hearse.
Van, right.
Took the body out in the back of the flower truck
Wow.
and then came outside and told everybody he passed away.
And Dame said mob shit.
Mob shit and mob shit.
Because he was definitely
And mob shit.
affiliated.
Yeah, my man told me they used to see him sitting around the corner at on 3rd Street with Legambi having coffee once a week.
He was they token.
Nobody
he was the
would
token.
report on that. How crazy! Look,
Token.
we would report on Legambi,
But not
but we would not report on Jerry Blavitt's relationship with
him.
Legambi.
Right.
Jerry.
He better than the mob. Like,
I mean-
like, yo, you better not say nothing
Don't say
bad about
nothing.
Jerry Blavitt.
Mm.
You can say whatever you want about the gangsters.
Right.
You say
Just
something bad about Jerry, you gonna have a problem.
Wow. I want to be affiliated. Can I be affiliated with y'all, Mob? Listen,
don't-
protect me. Listen. it's
Yeah, I don't know. I
benefits
don't
that
know.
come
The,
with
the,
that.
the mob still letting niggas associate with them. I don't know, after that whole Ram
Yeah.
Squad fiasco. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yes!
Well, you know, they never stopped
Yes.
affiliating with us, man.
Never.
Like, you know what I mean?
Bring
Like,
the flavor.
that's what I'm saying.
They
Like,
love
you know
us
what I mean?
smooth
Like,
rhymes.
you know,
They love
they like to dump their drugs and all that shit on us. They
We
don't want it in
still
their community,
protect
so
them in
they
the streets.
dump it on us, and then what?
And then what?
You know what I'm saying?
What
They
else
love
you got?
us.
Oh, I got.
What else you got?
It's tax season.
It
So
is tax
there's
season.
some people that everybody be looking for their refund, especially if you have children and you got that banging refund because of COVID last year.
You ain't getting
So this year the child tax credit is only $2,000 per child, and you can claim that if you make between $200,000 and $400,000, whether you're single or joint, for kids age 0 to 16. However, compared to last year
Mhm.
when we was getting $3,500, $3,600,
Look, at some point you gotta take care of your own
and
kids.
50%
At
credit.
some point you gotta take care of your own kids. Listen,
Don't say that because my mom might be watching.
us taxpayers,
I
the
need her
old
to
kids
keep
that don't
taking
get
care
their
of my
tax
kids.
credit no more.
We're giving you
At some point, y'all gotta take care of your own kids. I
We
can't keep
giving you
giving y'all all this damn money.
Listen, I mean, I will say the pandemic spoiled
Like
a
you
lot of
keep
people.
making these damn
self-included.
kids, you gotta take care of them.
Yeah, so I was like, a lot
Liquor
of people.
prices are up 4%.
Yeah, look. First of all, everything is up. People been talking about eggs.
Oh my God.
Yo,
A dozen of eggs is like buying a bag of weed now. It's fucking
and
ridiculous.
you know I'm about weed before I buy eggs.
Fuck them eggs.
Like
Fuck
my whole
them
business.
eggs. Them
Like,
eggs.
like
Grits and sausage.
you remember when cigarettes got expensive and cats started selling cigarettes?
That-
Like, yo, guys gonna be selling eggs. Word up.
Shout out to EA.
Yo, like, yo, they gonna be buying eggs.
Shout out to DJ
Eggs, I
Big.
was just
Shout
gonna
out
say,
to
so
EA.
EA said eggs are $10, depending on where you buy them. Because like some people are like, oh, they have them at Trader Joe's for $6 or $4. If you live in
Where's
a
a Trader Joe's?
I don't shop at Trader Joe's because although
Where
the
is
food is
one?
good, there's one they're downtown and
Yeah,
they're like
yeah,
uptown.
it's just-
But most people can't get
Trader
to.
Joe's is for single people. You should not be. You should not be trying to feed a family on Trader Joe's.
One downtown,
you're spending too much money on all that shit.
I went in there one day to get a juice. Yo, the line was like 75 people long. It was weaving through the aisles. Dude, like, it was a cat with a sign.
Which one on Market Street?
Yeah.
Because the one on Arch Street, the line be to the convention center. Sometimes.
Yo, dude,
they're very small. They're very small markets.
Dude was standing there with a sign that says line starts here. He was like 4 rows into the store. I said, yo, man, this juice cost me $4.
I would have walked out.
My cousin said just invest in the chicken at this point. And
right.
Let me tell you, I live in North Philly. It's people with roosters. Somebody got a hen.
Somebody got a hen.
Because if you live in a food desert where you only have a bodega, your corner store, some of them stores are charging $11.
Yo, I'm telling you,
that is
disgusting.
disgusting.
They sell eggs like that.
$30 you need gas and breakfast. You're done.
Like
You're done. You're done.
Yes. $30 because you want to put 5 on your tank.
That's gonna get you a gallon. That's gonna get you a gallon of gas.
Oh God, you can make it. I don't know.
Yo,
or you subjected the scepter.
they're about to start selling eggs like Lucy's. It's
Listen.
ridiculous. It's ridiculous what a dozen of eggs cost.
I know I am. 'Cause let me tell you, I got to know they cut my food stamps. Apparently, I make too much money with unemployment. Go figure. So I'm going to appeal. Bad enough they're cutting off the extra food stamps that everybody get once a month. Like
He said
you
no one
can't
selling
make
food
struggle
stamps
money.
anymore.
nobody's selling food stamps anymore.
No,
Niggas need
them.
too much. They need them now.
I'm definitely not
They
selling
push the
mine.
prices up to high enough that ain't nobody got no extra food stamp.
Nobody got no extra. Yo, I can't believe and you need eggs to for other stuff. Like not just breakfast, like eggs go in things.
shit.
Like you can't bake shit without eggs.
I was talking to this woman who runs a bakery the other day. She says she used to spend like $150, $200 for a pallet of eggs. She says she's spending $1,500 to $2,000 a week.
And then you come in there thinking you're gonna spend the same price on that donut. You're not.
Right.
Cupcakes, everything gotta go up.
Everything goes up.
It's
That's
ridiculous.
crazy.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
They blame it on this bird flu, but I'm like, yo, like, at what point do y'all like come up with a vaccine for that? Like,
So
it's been going on long enough.
you mean to tell me we cloned a cow, we just can't clone no eggs out this bitch?
Or like, clone the healthy bird. Don't nobody know where these eggs is coming from?
Right, because they probably cloned eggs already.
I was about to say that.
Relish is closing.
Everything is
I
cloned.
know.
Oh, closed. Not closed.
No, really?
Relish is closed.
Okay, so not
Last
only
week was
relish.
the last week.
Okay,
Last weekend.
I'm gonna say real quick, please support black businesses, especially restaurants, because
You have to be.
Bistro on the Mall also closed. I don't know if you know about that. It's up Germantown. Well, it was. They had some great food. Very small black business restaurant. They closed, and now Relish closed. Like
Relish was a institution
Yes.
in the city,
we
man.
like good live music.
We had
They
black
had
bat
poetry
mitzvahs
night.
there.
Right.
You kidding?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Sunday brunch.
Sunday brunch.
Me and my sisters took my father to
Gone.
Wow,
brunch there a couple
Relish.
times on
Gone.
Father's
Hope
Day.
y'all satisfied.
See what y'all done did.
I hope y'all
See what y'all done did.
Yeah, so black people, please support black businesses, black restaurants.
And black restaurants, stop putting so much salt in that damn food.
Yeah, everybody don't like all that.
Damn, yo, use too much damn
And
salt.
don't stop using all this Old Bay on everything.
Right, like don't call it like, you know what I mean, New Orleans style shrimp just because you dumped a whole bunch of Old Bay on that shit. It's not.
And they burned it. They burned
And you
it
burnt
too.
it, right?
They
You
burned
know,
it.
you burnt it,
Burned
called
it
it
with
black
Old Bay and called it black and
and
Cajun.
dumped a whole bunch of like that. Don't make it New Orleans style.
It's not Cajun.
It's not Cajun just because you dumped a whole bunch of Old Bay on it, man. You just running up our blood pressure. Diabetes runs heavy. It's time for us to start caring for
Every
each
black
other.
family.
Right, it's time for us to care for each other, man. Enough with the salt, man.
Oh, you know what? We didn't talk about in our entertainment news. Me and you talked about it. So, you know, Young Miami, the City Girl,
yes.
has her podcast, Carisha Please. So I wake up on Saturday morning and P. Diddy is trending, but not like Brother Love or Diddy or P. Diddy. PP. Capital P, double E, Diddy is trending. And I'm like, why is P, as if he urinated, Diddy trending? Well, Carisha, please.
Young Miami.
I love that name for a
Carisha,
show, and I
please.
love that. I actually love the show for her.
Yes.
She drew a card, and they said, "Take a shot if you enjoy getting peed on." And she said, "Well, I'm gonna take a shot for that." Skirt. Trina looked at her like, what?
Wow.
Like, blink twice?
Whoa.
I sat straight up in the bed like, oh, flag on the motherfucking play, R. Kelly.
Like, at what point do you find out that you enjoy that? Right?
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
how do you know?
I will never know because if you pull out your penis to pee on me,
If you suggest it,
As a man, right? Like, how do you make yourself pee on somebody?
how?
I thought I was always taught that, you know,
Like, consciously.
biologically,
Like consciously.
there's like a
right?
little lever that turns that shit off. So you have
Well,
to,
no, listen.
so
There's
you have
no
to
little.
consciously.
Look, listen. Like, you
This
know,
is what-
when I gotta go, I gotta go. Like, there's no, like,
you
you
don't
know
have
what I
to
mean?
go
I got an old
But I
ass
mean,
bladder. Like, when I gotta pee, it's like showtime.
But you don't have to go during sex. Like that's what I mean. During sex,
It's either you're gonna
there's
pee
a
before
reflex
you
that
start
kinda
doing
prevents
it,
that from
Right.
happening.
or you're
But
gonna hold it until after it's over. But to
you
actually
gotta consciously be like,
turned on by that, it's the
Right.
crazy
Oh, my
part.
brother Cab is watching too. Hey, Cab.
That's
out in
insane.
Texas.
even if you're into it, for
That's
the
insane.
dude to be like, bet I
I be
can do this
forgetting
shit.
all about
Even
that.
if you're into it, why would you tell somebody? Like, I wouldn't tell nobody.
Yeah, there's
that.
certain things you gotta keep to yourself.
I definitely wouldn't tell
Everything
nobody
ain't for
that.
everybody.
Everybody's freak.
Enjoying
ain't
getting
for
peed
everybody.
on, like, you can't make that cool. Like, there's some things they done made cool, right? Like, you know
But
what
she
I mean?
has
Like
a
anal
she,
sex.
Like, anal sex,
They
they
made
made
that
that cool,
cool.
right? Like, and whether you
feel like
into
white
it or you're
girls
not
made
into
that
it, you're
cool.
not so offended by it.
Right, right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like,
offended by being peed on.
I'm offended.
I'm
That's
offended
so
by being
offended.
peed on.
I'd be offended you asked me to pee on you.
yeah.
Like, yo, what's fucking wrong with you? And then I'm looking at you like, yo, how many other dudes that pissed on you?
That
No
is
part
the
to
thing.
this.
Because if you like it, that means you've experienced it. And how many times did you experience being peed on? Then you might as well take it to the Biggie level and get shitted on.
Woo, not the Cleveland Steamer.
That's a little too.
Woo, put that
It's like
suitcase
you somebody pee on
away.
you, like, girl, the next level
That
is to just
suitcase
get shit on.
away.
No,
That's
I-
too much.
And then
Hey, Gerald.
you gotta,
Hey,
I'm
Gerald.
supposed to have sex with you or lay down with you
Yeah,
or
and kiss her.
engage you, kiss you.
Now, first
like-
of all, one of the issues during sex a lot of times is the wet spot. Who land in the piss spot?
The piss spot, because I'm like, where did the
And
shower
in the
even
piss-
happen? Do you get it in the shower? No.
Well, you can't just do it on the floor. Who gonna clean that up?
So do you?
Right? You can't just
I
do it
was
on the
told
floor.
that
Who
you
gonna
lay
clean that
down
up?
plastic or something, but who has time?
First of
So that
all,
means you plan
that
this
means you
out.
planning it, right?
If I walk into a bedroom and somebody got
planned it.
plastic around, I'm like questioning, am I?
That's why I think
Like,
you're
I'm like,
gonna
you about
murder
to kill me.
you gonna chop me
Like,
up.
nigga, you trying to murder me?
Yeah, like you trying to kill me.
What the fuck is
You got
going
plastic
on?
laid out. You trying to chop me up?
Y'all a mess.
Yeah, like I don't even.
No, people
I don't
are
even put
mess.
plastic
People are
down for
crazy.
messy stuff. Like messy stuff you just do in the hotel, let them clean it up. All that food and all that extra shit.
Yeah,
people
all
like
that
to bring
up,
in
but
the
then
bedroom.
Hey, Sister Khadija in the building.
It's all
necessary.
I'm trying to stop this.
Oh, what else is on your list? We can move away from the
All
ground.
right,
yeah,
so this is
5
5 It's
minutes.
showtime.
Yeah,
It's
5
over.
minutes. It's
2
over,
minutes
yes.
still.
Oh, we got 2 minutes.
Well, you
Time
know
is
what I
wrong.
mean?
Okay, wait, we gotta get out
It's
of here.
next show.
Yeah. All right, well.
I don't know what time it is. My phone.
It's
is
5:58.
5:58. Oh,
Yeah.
we did good.
We did good. We ran
We
right
did
up
awesome.
against the window. That's what I'm
Until
saying.
next week.
Until.
Hey, y'all, always a pleasure, man. Appreciate y'all coming to hang with us on Over a Drink,
Don't
man.
go peeing on nobody.
Don't be trending for peeing on nobody.
Not
Find-
even if you were drinking.
Find something else to trend for.